No squirting this time.
Why
Just
is
a
it
little bit.
so hard?
I know,
Like,
it's so
I'm
slippery. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 5 of the Laid Back Podcast. We're back in the OG studio.
Yes.
How do you
Yes,
guys
we are.
feel?
Back in black.
Back in black.
Back in black.
I like that.
Yeah, we're not as on a couch anymore.
No,
Yeah, definitely more relaxing in the basement, but
but
This is not bad.
this ain't
It's not
This is
bad at all.
definitely not bad.
Yeah,
Oh.
this
Yeah.
this
It's
monster.
so good. Ultra red. Oh my god.
Let me try it.
Give it a shot.
This is actually good. It's like
It's
a
pretty good.
it's kind of berry.
I feel like
Red
they have
Freezy?
so many flavors. How many flavors do they have right now?
Yeah, I know. Every single time we have
Who's
like
so
a
many?
different
the
one.
I feel like
OG
25.
What was the OG?
It was like
drink?
the OG.
OG
oh.
energy
kinda want-
drink
I
when
kinda-
it kind of came out.
Like Monster or like
no, in general,
probably
like
Red-
when
would it
it
be Red
kind of
Bull?
was it Red Bull that really
Mm,
kind of
Red,
like
Red
started?
Bull, I think, took it to like
popularized
popularized it to the level it is.
Okay.
But
I don't know.
like from as far as I can remember, it was like Monster, but it was the old school like black and green one.
Oh, like the Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
I kind of want to try that one now.
Wait,
The OG,
See how far
one.
we've come.
What
What is that?
You not a fan?
Yeah, it was an Assassin's Creed. I think it was like a crossover between the two
Actually,
companies. Yeah.
not-
It says
the
Assassin's Creed on it.
That's just promotion.
Okay, then never mind.
I don't think they
they
had an
had like a
Assassin's
Halo
Creed
one for
flavor.
promotion too.
Oh, the
yeah.
green one.
Yeah.
The green one really does taste like an energy drink. I don't know how to say.
Like
Like these
energy.
ones
It
are
tastes like
more
it's
like a
bad for you.
juice.
Like you could tell it's bad for you when you
I
drink
feel like
the original
it
flavors.
tastes what I imagine diesel would taste like.
Yes.
I don't know what that means, but I feel like it tastes like diesel.
Was Monster the first one that started flavorizing these?
I don't know. I feel like I should know these things. I'm like
Yeah.
a connoisseur.
Your name's Kyle, man. Come on.
You punch dry walls.
Yeah.
No, I think they're the first ones to do with like the zero sugar though.
Oh, actually,
Yeah,
Oh,
and
pretty
like
cool.
actually take it flavored in that
Nice.
route.
Man, I feel like these energy drinks got so big. Now they sponsor everything. Although I was
Yeah.
saying, I think it's
Yeah.
Red Bull. Red Bull sponsors anything, and
Yeah.
like they don't even
Man.
care.
They mainly do sports.
Yeah, Red Bull has its own Formula One team. It's not sponsoring.
Yeah,
it's
well,
their
they
own.
even
team.
have
yeah.
soccer teams in Germany. There's
Yeah,
this team Red Bull. I can't remember, and they're so good. They're so intimidating, and people are mad because it's just oh, it's Red Bull money. It's not a real
Yeah.
team, but I mean,
And then
they're doing
the
well.
other teams are
So-
like Gulf country money,
Yeah.
so it's like
I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably the same thing, right? It's just a huge company and they're just back.
Yeah.
But you're saying it's just owned by Red Bull, the whole thing.
the Formula One team.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
it's insane.
I don't. No, I think the whole team is just Red Bull. Like I
That's
think
right.
another. I think this year, Ashken was telling me that the engines were made by someone else for them, but like Red Bull as a Formula One team, it's actually one of the biggest teams too.
Man, every extreme sport, have you seen those? It's either with flying airplanes, the small ones,
Always
that
Red
they
Bull.
go through. It's
Yeah.
always Red Bull. Is like it's like painted across, or anything
Yeah.
like extreme sports with like biking and
Pretty
stuff
awesome.
like that,
Or like X
Yeah.
Games.
or
Yeah,
anything.
X
Yeah,
Games,
yeah,
stuff like
X
that.
Games.
I think Monster sponsors X
yeah.
Games too. Right?
Yeah, they do
I've seen a lot
some
of Monster,
sports,
yeah.
but they do a lot of gaming.
That's
They
it.
sponsor a
Yeah.
lot of gaming teams. and
Gamer
programming
Yes.
Yeah,
teams.
gaming is
Yeah.
too big, and now gaming also now like. I mean, you get Monster, but now I know like a lot of gaming.
There's like G Fuel. There's like
Yeah, G Fuel's the
pre-workout
big
type of
one.
things
Yeah.
with it and
G Fuel is
everything.
the gamer fuel, and
Yeah, gamer
I've
fuel.
tasted it.
Yeah.
You know, I've had it a few times, but I've never like I don't go out of my way to get it.
It's
That's so
ice.
true.
yeah,
that's the whole reason why G Fuel was
Yeah.
made was for gamers.
It's literally
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure G's like gamer fuel, and it's.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just like pre-workout essentially,
Yeah.
just to make you a little bit more buzzed and awake,
Yeah.
so your hand-eye coordination doesn't die
Yeah.
out while you're passing out
Yeah.
playing 10 hours of computer
Yeah.
games.
It's crazy how like. Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
no, you're saying.
It's crazy how like they made a pre-workout for gaming as if it's like a full-on sport.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's like-
the amount of cardio that the person's probably like burning. Just okay,
not
is
sweating,
I
not
don't know if
cardio.
cardio
I don't know
is
what
the
it
right
think
is.
word.
cardio is the right
not
word.
cardio, but sweating.
I
Dude,
think
when I'm playing
Yeah.
a game and it's getting intense, I am
100%.
sweating.
Yeah.
100%.
It's the adrenaline
I'll be
rush.
playing games and I just feel like sweat dripping down my body, and I'm just like, but you can't really do much because you're so focused in the game. Because
Yeah.
I think it's because you're thinking a lot, and when you think, you actually burn calories. So I think just being so focused and
But I think it also
hot-
depends on the games.
and- yeah,
Because sometimes the game is it's if you're like a chill. I don't know how to like. Let's say if you're just playing like
Story
GTA or story mode of a
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
and you're just going. But then if it's something intense,
Man,
it's
when I
not
was playing
yeah.
like Call of Duty back in the day,
Call of Duty,
I would
League of
go through
Legends.
t-shirts like for a
Yeah,
day.
I know.
I'd just be sweating buckets.
But this is why they made this G Fuel, dude. You're just like sitting and you're just like you need to
Yeah.
hydrate.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends drink that stuff. That's where I've tried it from. Like I say, it's good, but like I wouldn't go out of my way to get it. I don't see the point. Like it's
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
G Fuel?
G Fuel, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing the same thing.
I know,
really.
but it's like this.
I think it's for
I
when
don't
you're
know.
tired.
Like, why don't they just?
Yeah,
Be
I mean that's
It's
so
like the
true.
same-
I think it's all
It's-
branding
yeah,
and marketing,
that's,
man.
that's
at this
exactly
point.
it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
exactly
branding
it.
All
marketing.
branding and marketing. They're
That's the
like,
thing.
yo, we made this specifically for gamers.
100%.
And then they just market.
yeah.
Is that your gaming?
To be
No,
fair-
I
to be
think
fair,
your
though,
gaming commercial.
Very smart to do.
It's extremely smart. I'm just
Genius.
surprised that it. I don't know. You would think these
Because it's
companies would get
caffeine.
more into
Yeah.
gaming and stuff, but they missed an opportunity. And now G Fuel. I think G Fuel, I would say it's the
Yeah.
top.
the whole.
Yeah, they took the
and-
cake when it came to gaming. I think it's because gaming when it first started was so like taboo.
Man, gaming
Almost.
right
like
now.
doing it as like a pro scene and stuff like that,
Mm.
like really taking it more seriously
Mm.
was very taboo. Like your
When-
parents
When was
weren't
it that it
against
kind of
it.
flipped the switch of gaming is kind of serious now, and we gotta. Was it, do you think it happened in the last 10 years? Was it more than
I
that?
would.
Oh,
I would
easy.
say in
Last
the,
5.
yeah, I would say really in the last like 5 years. I know
like
COVID sort of blew
Yeah.
gaming up to like another level
Yeah.
because you think of it, everyone was stuck at home. What
Yeah.
what can they do? Gaming. People who never played video games would
Yeah.
go. I mean, they wouldn't play Counter Strike, Call of Duty, League of Legends, but they would play things like Among Us. That
Yeah.
game blew up.
Everybody was-
Among
Yeah.
Us came out in 2018.
that's insane.
It got
only
no
'cause of
attention.
COVID.
attention.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then
yeah,
2020
that's
because
true.
it's
Got
just
picked
like
up by a
Mafia,
couple
a good
streamers.
game that you could play with friends and stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be intense.
You don't
You don't need to be.
you can play it on your
super
phone.
Good at games.
You can
Yeah.
play it on your phone. It's so accessible, so easy,
Yeah.
and it's like $5. You're not paying $60, $70, and that blew up. There's games like Fall Guys and stuff. So I think COVID blew
True,
gaming
this
up to
is
another
true.
level. But I would say the gaming
In
scene as
general.
a whole, probably, I would say
Yeah.
in the last 5 years, like
Yeah.
when did Ninja get famous?
2018.
I think that was
at
also.
its
I think that was also a
peak.
big.
Oh,
That was a big
2018,
yeah,
yeah.
because that was
Yeah.
Fortnite. But I think slightly before Fortnite, I think League of Legends took the cake.
Here's the thing.
Yeah,
I think
League
in
of
general,
Legends.
when you talk about gaming, I think right now, if you guys were to compare this to 10 years ago, parts like PCs that were good was not as accessible. I find.
Mm.
If you
It was
guys
all
were,
systems.
let's say 10 years ago, if you wanted to find a good PC that runs a game, you're paying at least 2-3K, right? And
yeah.
not a lot of people had
I mean, it was more consoles then. Like
Well,
consoles
exactly.
are
It
kind
was
of
way
dying
more
out right
content.
now. But
Yeah.
like back then, if someone said something about gaming, it's most likely
Yeah,
consoles.
it was
Like,
Xbox,
yeah.
PS3.
Like there are a lot of
like
PCs
Nintendo, yeah.
too, but you're right. Like now, it's almost like way more socially acceptable to have a gaming PC. Oh, you know how to build a PC. Oh,
Mhm.
that's so cool. When I was in high school, when we were in high school,
yeah.
and I told someone I knew how to build a PC,
Beat you up.
No, I mean I don't know. Maybe, nerd.
How dare you?
It's like you get someone like how could you? But no, like no one would consider that like a good or cool skill.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
so true.
But I feel like
That's very
other
true.
than COVID, streaming. So when Twitch and
Yeah,
other
that's
streaming services
also
became
another
big,
That's
gaming
very true.
became huge
Yeah.
because it's like
so much
they
more
made-
accessible.
yeah.
they made like
Fan base.
a social media platform for
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
gamers.
Man,
Or I mean, it started
The
out just
amount
gamers.
of money now that is just in gaming. This is you just look at it.
Insane.
Insane. You were. What were you saying? For,
Like I was reading that in 2020 the gaming industry made $180 billion. That's
I'm not
more than
surprised.
like the movie the what do you call it? Like the not Hollywood but movies in
box
general.
office? The movie industry.
The movie
Yeah.
industry and like North American sports. So you're talking about football,
NFL,
and baseball,
NBA.
all those things. More than all those combined. I mean,
That's
okay,
insane.
COVID played an impact, but
Sure.
it's still growing
like,
so much. And they're saying 2025, it's gonna go up to like 255 like plus billion dollars. That is
I
huge.
can imagine.
That's the,
That's
and
so
imagine.
much money.
that is
dude.
such a huge. And the thing with this is like gaming has been something that's
Yeah.
it's been here for so long, but I feel like only recently have people started like tapping into the potential of these
Well,
things. And it's
well-
crazy how like when you look at how gaming started, simple computers, people were losers for playing games
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
To now,
Yeah.
gamers are celebrities.
You're
almost.
making
they're
more-
rich.
exactly, yeah.
They're like
They're fighting
Yeah.
TikTokers.
They're actual
It's
boxers
like
right
they
now.
have
It's like-
like millions of subscribers. Like they're actual. You're right. They're
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
like celebrities or
Yeah.
they're somebody.
Yeah. Like I remember, back, gamers used to be considered nerds and geeks and stuff.
Yeah.
I saw this picture of Tifu. Have you guys heard of Tifu?
Yeah.
He's a really
Tifu.
popular streamer. He
Yeah.
posted this picture of himself. He's jacked because he's so rich. He has enough
Yeah.
money. He can buy all these things. Like never in a million years would you think that this is a gamer. And even his caption of the photo was like, "I played like 2,000 hours of video games this year," and he's just sitting there with like a 6-pack and a huge chest. And I'm like, that's just not what you
Yeah.
would think.
You'd ever
If you
think,
said
yeah.
like 10 years ago, this is what a gamer is going to look like, people are going to laugh at you.
But I
It's
think
insane.
it's also changed, like you said. It's because right now, let's say back then, with our parents,
Yeah.
you could never see gaming as a
No.
as a profession.
No.
You know,
No.
now if you see somebody who's a little bit even talented,
Yeah.
They can
like,
go a long
not
way.
on par to like Olympics talents,
Yeah.
but people who are very talented in games right now, like they're genuine geniuses. Like you can brand them as geniuses
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're so good at it. And man, the amount of money that
The
they
money you make.
that they're
is
just
insane.
make.
Oh yeah.
Insane.
like you were literally saying Ninja, like he makes so much money, even though he's not as popular now.
Yeah.
But in that 1 year, he probably was racking about 40 million a month or something. Like, ridiculous
It's
amount.
insane. And I think he blew up because he started playing with, like, he played that stream with Drake, and that blew him up. But
Yeah.
it's like he's now a huge celebrity. He was, I believe, he was there in remember the New Year celebration?
I
in,
was just about to say that. Yeah,
Times-
it was
Times
so
Square?
awkward.
It was
Yeah.
so cringe. I
Yeah,
was
it was
watching
so
like
cringy.
my
I
I
whole
didn't see
body.
it. Wait, what happened?
So the New Year, so for 2021, so
Yeah.
you know how they usually at Times Square they have a huge
Oh,
ceremony and stuff. It was COVID, so only like essential workers were there, but like
Yeah.
it was streamed everywhere, like all TV channels, YouTube, Twitch, and that. And Ninja was one of the main events. I don't know what he was supposed to do. Like, what was he supposed to do?
What
there?
was he doing?
I think
I don't
was he
know.
like doing some dances, like
Flossing
flossing and
and
stuff?
stuff,
Or-
or-
yeah, he did like
Yeah.
that because he's a Fortnite. He did like the
Fortnite
Fortnite
dance.
dance, but it was so cringe. Like my eyes just wanted to pull them out and like
I
throw
know,
them in the
yeah.
garbage.
Because it's so old too. That's 3 years after. They're like, why
Yeah,
do they
no,
bring him
when
now?
he-
And there was already
Yeah.
a kid that got famous for flossing. Like, why are you
Yeah.
trying to copy his thing?
That's true.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
that
yeah.
kid became a rapper. Fun fact. Anyway.
Actually?
No way.
I think
No way.
Interesting.
Yo, man, gaming can set you up
Was
for
this
life.
the kid that
man.
was doing the dance moves for the?
Yeah,
Are you talking
yeah.
about him? What was his name?
I have no
I'm
clue.
like,
There's some little like
I know there
kid
was-
that went on stage with Katy Perry even and did the floss, and then he became
No way.
a
I
rapper.
love
He
it.
has like
I love it.
yeah. Everyone becomes a rapper apparently. It's just the go-to.
I know there was this dance in Fortnite, Orange Justice. I know that guy. My brother told
Oh,
me
is
about
it,
it.
is it the one like they go like?
I'm not gonna attempt because I don't know how to do it and embarrass myself. But it's like I
Yeah.
think you're
I think
getting
it's
it.
that one. Yeah.
Also, that got huge and man, just the impact like gaming has nowadays. It's ridiculous.
Man.
Like you said, back then, when you think gaming, there was like no future. Gaming used to be thought of like this.
Yeah.
It's like a hobby. It's something you do when
Yeah.
you're done.
More
school or
wasting your
work.
time.
You
That's how everybody
literally
was
wa-
saying.
you're
Yeah.
wasting
your
time just because it's nothing productive and stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, there's so much potential. There's
Yeah.
so much you can do with the gaming. It's like
Yeah.
bigger than movies and stuff.
Yeah.
GTA 5 when that was released. So movies like when they movies like, oh, this movie grossed $1 billion in its
Yeah.
lifetime over a month. GTA 5 in its first 24 hours grossed $800 million. Can you believe that?
But I feel like some companies
Insane.
like
800
Rockstar,
million in a 24
800
hours.
million, yeah.
It's insane.
like Rockstar and EA, they figured out that microtransactions are the way to go. So
Yeah.
they give you the game, or not give you, like you buy it and that it's normally priced, but the amount of gameplay you can put into one of these games is insane.
Oh, it's
And they know that when you're playing, you can keep buying more. So for GTA 5, like the in-game currency,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can keep buying. And now what they did for Red Dead Redemption 2, not the first one, when it came out, they sold the online separately. So you could have bought it at some
that's
point
true.
for $7
That's
Canadian,
true.
and then you can play the online only. But within the online, people buy so much like in-game currency, in-game like things that. I mean, Red Dead it didn't make as much money, but it made a
But
lot of money.
all of these big games right now, from Warzone to Dota
Yeah.
to League,
League of
they're all
Legends.
free. But once you kind of get into it, you're just
Bro, you
like,
buy skins.
yeah, because
Yeah,
it's so
figured it out,
addicting in
yeah.
a way that like, oh, I need to get this
Well,
skin.
that's
You
the
It's
thing.
want
so
the
sick.
customizability.
Yeah, and then
Did,
just
did you
keep
know
going.
that like Sony and Microsoft, whatever, they sell the consoles at a loss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
make their
they do it
money
on purpose.
from Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus and all the games and stuff, but they sell the
Subscription
consoles
fees.
at a loss. So they're
Yeah.
not making money from just the sales of the console.
Yeah,
I swear, I'm like, that's
Yeah.
kind of insane, but it's the
They
fact that they're
realized at
still
one
selling
point-
all this shows
Yeah.
you how much profit they're making.
I think
It's
like,
ridiculous.
with PS5s they did like the worst out of any console.
What do you mean?
Like they
Oh,
did
like in terms of sales?
in terms of
But I
not
think
in
it
terms
all-
of sales, like in part of like actual
Yeah, how
like
much money
money
they
that
made?
they made back.
Yeah,
Because it
Like
was
they
so
did ridiculous in
expensive.
sales, but they made like no money back.
Well, I know there's the huge chip shortage right now.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that plays a huge impact.
And
I know
there wasn't a lot of them. It was way more expensive compared to the time. Like, what was it? It was like $500 where whenever it came out, it was like $299 or more for like PS3. Just like
I remember
relative.
the PS3. I remember that one. One of the main reasons people say it didn't succeed too much in North America was because
PlayStation 3.
it was so expensive. I remember
It was very expensive.
I don't know if I was in Lebanon still when it came out, but I remember it was like $600 or $700. It was, and then the Xbox 360, which is like the equivalent console, like
It was
games and
half
stuff.
the price.
It was literally
almost.
half the price, and that's why like Xbox outsold the PlayStation. But then
Yeah.
the PS4, that one, it's way more competitive. I think it was the same, pretty much the same price and stuff.
And it was like way more nice aesthetically,
and it was
pleasing
very
than the Xbox One. Xbox One was like a big VCR box.
That's this thing. PlayStation was like the PS4 was a lot more gamer oriented. So if you want to play games, you're gonna get the PlayStation, and it had a lot more exclusives and stuff. And that one outsold the Xbox. But like this, I think the PlayStation 5 is outselling the Xbox. I believe.
Oh yeah, like, it's not even close. I don't think. Like it keeps selling. Now you can go and buy. Actually, I think
it's
the
still
Xbox is
difficult.
it's a bit difficult, but you can find an Xbox. But like the first year that PS5 was out, nobody could find any.
Yeah,
like people,
like it was on Marketplace. People buying it for like $2,000.
People had scripts to check every, like here with an auto to check, or Ontario check every Shoppers Drug Mart, because usually, weirdly enough, Shoppers Drug Mart gets them randomly with no like.
Because here's the thing with Shoppers though, you were able to pre-order as many as you wanted, with not paying a fee. So I have a friend who pre-ordered like 10. And then we sold them all for like an extra
I don't like your
$400.
Yeah, I know.
Your friend is the problem.
Yeah.
He made money.
He made money.
For sure.
He was like, well, I mean, if we're not going to have to pay a fee to pre-order, and you could pre-order as many as you want.
It's very smart.
He's
Like
like,
some
why
places like
not?
Best Buy, I think will cap it out.
Yeah.
You can only get one.
Now
A lot of
places
places
do
charge a fee if you want to pre-order.
Yeah.
Like you have to put like a down payment towards it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Now I know, like with PCs, a lot of, because the graphics card, it affected the graphics cards as well.
Yep.
A lot of places they have like a limit of one. You can't purchase more than one sort of thing.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know if they do it on like your account or if like with this credit card. I don't know how they do it, but they set a limit so you can only buy one, just because people would just buy a bunch and just sell them for, I don't know, markup was so high.
Yeah, I think when the 3000 series came out, like the RTX ones, my friend was going for a 3070, and the original price was like 900 to like around that, and then he had to buy it for 1500.
Yeah,
and that wasn't even the Asus one. Asus one's like the highest. It's the highest end one in terms of like quality of build. He was buying like MSI. There was another one. I forgot what the company was called, but I've never heard of it before. Like I'm not like that huge into like graphics cards.
But he
like,
probably what he was getting. Even now, it's still, although it's getting cheaper now, but it's still so expensive.
Yeah,
because
and
there's
like,
such a short of it.
What he did was he bought like what he could find. He got the MSI one. He got the other companies, and then he was waiting for an Asus one, and he just kept those as cards to trade with people. It's like it became so much effort just to build,
to figure it out or find a chip.
He's really into it, so he like stuck with it. It took him 5 months to finish his
That's
like
insane.
build. I would have given up. Like I don't care that much. I would have just stuck with an MSI or whatever. But it just sucks that people can't build what they want because of scalpers.
Yeah. Although now that problem is
It's getting better.
It's getting
Because
better.
like the whole COVID thing was getting so bad, there was a shortage of it. Now they're
But that's because of like Bitcoin and stuff like
Yeah.
that, all the mining.
because they're using all this.
Yeah.
It's the biggest things because they're using the high end, like the 3080 and the 3090. They're just buying them, just making a field, and they're just mining.
And
they're
that's
not
why-
even using them.
Yeah, that's why Nvidia stepped in. Like I know with the 3060, they I don't know
They capped it or something, right? They put a limiter.
They did something, so that it's not good for mining Bitcoin and crypto as well. Like
The
now you have
3060.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it was like I believe
Because it's
probably-
cheaper than
it's like the
compared to
most
the-
cost effective one, something like that.
Okay.
So they did it in a way where you cannot like it's not good for mining cryptocurrency, which is smart.
I think it's probably the
very
threat.
If you're one of those rich gamers, you'll pay as much as you want, or they give it to you for free even.
Yeah.
I was like, you watch some of these streamers and it's like, they sponsored by, Nvidia, they gave us all these graphics cards, and I'm like, oh my God, lucky. Like,
It's
they're
giving me
rich,
one.
they already know, they don't need
even
these
need
free
it.
things.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think though in general now everybody's getting pushed towards more PC users. Even in games, when you
Even
talk to people,
games.
everybody
Yeah.
they're always like, the advantage that you have on PC is so much more than console.
100%.
Yeah.
Or I just think I feel like every year I haven't really seen the stats, but I feel like just looking at it, I feel like it's getting more and more people right now using a PC.
I don't know many people who have console
Well,
anymore.
that's the thing.
Consoles are dead. So they're
Yeah.
saying this generation's PS5, Xbox, what is it?
Yeah,
Series
Xbox One.
Series X is the last. Like they might have maybe one more, but then people are saying like it could go two routes. So either full PC and only that, and then mobile, or they're thinking like, have you like remember that was it Stadia?
Yeah.
So streaming. So what they're gonna do is it's you're gonna have mainly PC, but then you can stream it from even like say like my little brother did this with my cousin. My cousin has an insane PC.
Yeah.
He was running Cyberpunk, but my brother was playing the game streaming from my cousin's device in his own house on our TV.
That's insane.
How do you?
I don't. So Stadia, I think.
Do you have Stadia? Did
He like my
probably has
brother, my brother or my cousin has Stadia.
Oh, okay,
Someone
okay.
had it, and they were using it. Basically, he was playing a game that we didn't own, and it wasn't running on any device at home.
I don't know if you saw. That's what Microsoft is now going towards, the whole new generation with the next Microsoft line. They literally released this. It was literally 2 weeks ago. I was watching. They said all of your devices together. They're basically what they're doing is that you buy a chip from Microsoft. It's like a virtual machine with specifications that you exactly want. And then all of your devices, if you have 3 laptops, what they technically do, it's not really going to be a good computer. It just streams off of
so cool.
Your single device that you have.
Yeah.
So 1 laptop, 2 laptops. So Microsoft is going towards that with Windows so that you can stream and you're not really tied back. I have to spend 4K now to get a really good rig in order to play a game. Now it's just like I can just spend whatever. I just need a good internet connection. And just stream it off.
I think what they're going to end up doing is they're going to have like huge like servers that like the company owns basically the big device that everyone's playing on, and you just stream off of that. Everyone has a good enough connection to stream off of their devices.
100%. I think once internet reaches to a point, like we're already there, but once it's more mainstream where everybody has very good speeds and latency issue isn't a thing for timing. So like I think once like we're already getting like 1 gig internet speeds. Yeah. At that point, then like you said, you don't even need. Yeah. You really don't need it anymore.
Like, I know that's what EA was saying, because right now with the new Battlefield games coming out and it has all this next level destruction, they're saying with cloud technology, like the new stuff that we're coming, we're gonna be able to do so much more, because they're like we'll have all these supercomputers, and that'll be hosting all that, all the crazy stuff, and so you don't really necessarily need a super powerful device to run these things. It's all gonna be done there, that's the like gaming it's changing so much, and I'm kind of excited.
I'm so excited. But this is the line that we're kind of going down towards now, and VR. VR, man. Think of it in 20 years. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, and I was sending them to these guys the other day. There's a company right now where, so usually right now you can't really work with 1 monitor. And it's usually you need 2 or 3 monitors to get any work done. You put VR goggles on within the environment. You have 3 monitors or as many monitors as you want. That's insane when you think about it. You're working with a goggle.
Someone just filling out a fucking spreadsheet with VR.
It's just like an Excel sheet. Just like working.
Just like going row to row.
Like, what's going on?
Like VR, what do you mean? What are you doing? I'm just on this Excel. The VR headset. It's like, what are you doing?
So like, using such exciting technology for such a mundane thing, but it's useful.
It is useful. I mean, that's what I was like, now come over to gaming. Like for us, it's because I talked to his brother. So his brother is like, how old is Ibrahim right now?
Like he's 11.
He's 11. So it's like to us VR, I'm like, holy crap, dude. When I play VR, it's just such an insane thing. But to him, it's like, this is it's in every other like
it's there.
It's meh to them.
Because it was there when he started. We had Game Boys and stuff. Like even we had the computers with the floppy disk. We didn't have
Game Boy Color.
Game
Boy Color.
Even the one before that.
There was the Game Boy, and then there was Game Boy Color, which has.
What's the first thing that you guys each got as a console or like
Game Boy Advance, the purple one?
The first console.
That's my first handheld. But then that wasn't the first game I've ever played. That was just the first like handheld thing that we owned, and I remember we had to like beg my dad like please. And in Dubai there was this huge like Chinese market because we used to live in Dira. Dira is like downtown, old downtown Dubai, and there was this Chinese market that had all the games, all the consoles, and for way cheaper. And we didn't know if they were knockoffs or not, but it looked real. And we're like, please, like he's like, okay, save up for 3 months. You have to get like good marks on all your grades. You have to memorize Quran. We're like, yes, we'll do whatever you want. So we did it in that, and then by the end of the 3 months, he like forgot about it. So we're like, wait, what? But then we had to remind him, and then he's like, fine, he got us the Game Boy Advance. We abused that. We didn't only like when we were done with it, none of the buttons could be pressed anymore. Jeez. I remember, and we broke it. It wasn't usable so fast that we had to get another one. But my dad was not getting us another because he's like, oh, you guys are rotting your brains again because gaming was
gamers.
So we had to sneak out and buy a Game Boy SP. Do you know the one that opens up like a laptop?
That was my first one.
Yeah.
That one. The Game Boy SP was the first thing that I ever got.
I still remember. The SP is probably my favorite childhood handheld. Like it was so much fun. Yeah. And like that one, the memory. So you know how you could save games? Yeah. It used to save on. It wasn't on the cartridge because before it used to save on the cartridge with older consoles. Yeah. This one saved on the console itself, and the thing broke, so you couldn't save games. So when we started the game, we finished it before turning off. So I remember I had this Mega Man game. It was Mega Man Cyber Network 6 or something, where it was kind of like Pokemon. Okay. Not Pokemon. It was kind of like Pokemon where you walk around, and then like as you're walking on the platforms, you like and you have to go into a battle. But then you're always Mega Man. And you can pick out the cards for the weapons. I started and finished that game every time I opened the game.
You had no choice. Because you had no choice. How long did that take you?
The whole day, and I just be like,
just going.
And I would
play.
Yeah,
back
like,
to simple times.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember how for the SP, it's the games were this big.
Yeah, they were like a rectangle thing.
So sometimes it wouldn't work. Because when it said Game Boy, if it didn't say advanced, it wouldn't work. So then you had to either blow on it, and then usually when I put it in, I would be like, hand, and then I would smack it.
The Midas touch.
So when I would think of it, I'm like, I was literally breaking this thing from how much force I exert this thing. I'm like, you know what? I have to blow on this, and then I have to hit it this hard, or else it's just not gonna.
That was your technique, smacking it.
It just worked.
Did you not know the corner technique?
You can't do a corner technique.
You blow it, but then when you put it in, you put it in at an angle, and then you click in the last corner. How do you put it
at an angle though? It's like
you can. So in the advanced and the SP, at the sides of where the cartridge goes, it's not fully like it's not a sharp edge. Like it kind of eases off. So you go in like this, and then you click the other.
I abused, dude, that my SP.
I was like,
I was just hitting it, and my parents only bought me like 3 games. I literally like played like golf, Mario Golf for like a year. I was such a pro at golf. I was like, like literally only 3 games that I was able to play. But you're saying? No, I was just saying it's like at the time, I think as a Game Boy, it was just anybody who even had that Game Boys and SPs. They were such like legends. They were such the cool kids. Walking around in the playground. That was my first handheld. Was that your first thing? That was my first handheld. I think my first actual console. Yeah. I believe it was a PlayStation 1. My mom's uncle was like the one. Okay, he was a huge gamer.
You had a PSP?
PS1. I had PSP too. I
had all the consoles.
Oh god.
Besides Xbox, I had
PSP
all of them.
were the rich kids.
I had Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP.
Okay, he's next level.
I got everything.
He's spoiled kind of. Oh my god.
White people, man.
Like next one. You helped me too.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I got them all.
And
then I had PS1,
3 years of
3.
begging for me to just go for the Game Boy.
That's what I'm saying. Not just me and like my 2 older brothers. We had to fight for it. Like we had to like strive for our Game Boy Advance.
My dad always bought me consoles.
God bless your dad.
Every Christmas he came with a new console. Every single Christmas.
Me the SP. I don't remember how I got that. I believe my friend had one and I wanted one, and my parents were like, "Sure." I think I know the PS1 and PS2 and PS3. My mom's uncle was like a huge gamer, huge movie guy, huge entertainment guy. Every year, every Christmas, like whenever they would be released, he would get us one.
Uncle.
Literally, like the cool. I mean, freaking loved them. Oh, I love all of them, but he was super chill. Shit. But the first game I played, it was, I believe it was this game on like my dad, like our old computer that was. I don't know. It was a machine. It was like this weird platformer where like. You had the gun and you had to like jump on like different levels. It was like a 2D size.
A bunch. You're saying it was on a computer?
It was on a computer.
That was the first time. That was exactly the first ever I was introduced. Was my oldest cousin. My oldest cousin. He's like 15 years older than me. He had a computer and he had a floppy disk. And this floppy disk, dude, it had like 50 games on it, but 50 like OG old games, like Prince of Persia. Like the old one, the one you
scroller one.
You go and then you go to the next level. Anyways,
is that where you got your gamer time for everything?
I don't even. I think so. Yeah, that's true. Prince of Persia is my gamer time. But that was the first time I ever was introduced to I think gaming of like what it is was that I think I even had the duck thingy where you just hit the duck thing. You know what?
Duck Hunt.
It was like Duck Hunt, but the old Duck Hunt.
I thought that was on Atari only, not. You probably had some knockoff.
It was definitely 100% because it was one floppy game. It was a floppy disk, and this floppy disk had like 60 games on it. He was like, "This is the most elite thing ever." I'm like, "You definitely cracked. This is like what? Like you got this from somewhere that's 100% legal."
Isn't it crazy how each one of those games probably took up like
no space,
500 kilobytes of storage?
I know.
Modern Warfare is like 100 gigabytes. Like my PC's barely breathing. It's like please enough, and like it's kind of crazy. Even I remember my PlayStation. My PS2 and probably PS1. You had memory cards. Like, it's like 20 megabytes.
It was the one that came with it was 8 megabytes, and then you wanted
and it's like, oh my god, like it's
from where to what we are right now. Your phone now has 1,000 times more than that.
Yeah, the phones are like 60 gigabytes. By the way, I believe also the first game I played might have also been Snake on the phone. I believe my mom's. Can I play games on your phone?
Yes. Does that count? A phone game?
Yes, I would looking at how big. By the way, mobile games, above 50% of the revenue of all video games. That's how big mobile games are right now.
Well, huge. You have to think of this for a second.
So easy.
I'm comparing it to.
I would say yes, it counts.
That's fair because especially if it's just your card's just connected, you're just like, I'll buy that. Yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah. It's so easy.
But you guys have to see here. Everybody has a PC. For instance, back home, mobile games are huge. Like the Call of Duty game on mobile.
Oh, you're right.
Everybody has it. Like everybody there, when you want to play with them, everybody's on mobile. Like,
yeah, I'm just gonna keep this.
Here, I feel like PCs, everybody has it, but like back in Middle East, nobody really has PC. Like I'm not saying they don't, but mobile games are humongous there. Everybody plays mobile games, and I'm assuming I think in China, places like that too, 100% mobile games have to be very big.
I don't know.
I think PC gaming is much bigger there.
Well, they probably have it.
China and Korea, they have a lot of
gaming cafes.
They have gaming. They don't have those here. That's so sad. They used to have them in Lebanon. I remember I would go to my grandma's house. It's my grandma's. There's nothing really to do. Just old people stuff.
Yep.
There was an internet cafe right there. You just sit down, and it was. I'm not even joking.
Oh my god!
What is happening?
What's going on today? You scared her. It was like.
Oh, I wouldn't look.
It was like 1,500 Lebanese pounds, which is about $1. We would literally sit in this internet cafe for the whole day. For like $1. I'm not even joking. And we would just play Counter-Strike and Age of Empires 3, I think.
Age of Empires.
I used to play with my brother, and I would put all the cheats and build up a huge army. And then like 10 minutes in, I just invade him. He's just like, what the heck is going on? And I'm like, I'm just so good. And he has like 3 warriors, and I have like freaking military. They're shooting us and like torching his buildings. He's like, no, he gets so angry. And I'm like,
Age of Empires. Age of Empires 2 is still one of the best RTS games ever. So they made an HD like a fourth one. Nobody cares. Everyone only plays the second one.
It's considered the best one.
Yeah, they made like a high definition version, like an HD like remake, and then they made a remastered of it. Yeah. No one even half the people who know like Age of Empires 2 don't know about 3. That's how good it is. But me, like I played a lot of RTS games, like my whole family. And it was all Red Alert. It was Red Alert, Generals. It was Generals, bro.
Oh, I never played any.
I always played the freaking like Arab terrorist teams out of spite because I'm like, how dare they? We finally make it to a game and they make us terrorists.
Bad guys.
I'm dead.
I must now take them down.
Like I remember one of the tank vehicles was an actual pickup truck with a machine gun on it, while the other armies had actual light. Tanks. It was so frustrating, but I always did it.
Did you play any of these games?
No.
For
so much fun. PlayStation stuff and console stuff.
True. Yeah, bro. I played
Digimon.
Spyro.
I played Spyro.
That game was
so good. A shit ton of Spyro.
Yeah, Spyro.
And then it was all Pokemon, man. My life was Pokemon.
I never got into it. Like, I had Pokemon. I had like Pokemon.
Yeah. That's why I got all the systems.
Sapphire. What were the?
Sapphire was
so many different. I think there was so many, dude.
Bro, there's Pokemon
Ruby
Yellow.
And all those games.
There's Red. There's Blue.
What was the related difference? Like I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Is it because it's like
different regions?
Was it different regions here, or was it like different end boss? Because I remember
I thought like different Pokemon.
So at the beginning, like your first ones, which were like Yellow, you got Pikachu in it as your starter, and then you had Red and Blue, and those were just Game Boy ones. And then after that, you got like the Fire Red, the Leaf Green, which were like the updated versions of those. And then after that, it was like all different series. So you got like what's after that? I forget the regions.
Wasn't it Sapphire after? It was Sapphire and
no, there was one in between there.
To be honest, I wasn't a big. I was more into Digimon.
Oh, it was like Gold, Silver,
Digimon. Oh my god,
you remember Digimon, right?
I never played it or watched it or anything, but I know
little Digimon thing that you can hold handheld and carry around.
I just had to imagine I had it. Yeah, I didn't have. I really was.
This reminds me of. In grade 3, they had these things called Tamagotchi. I don't know if anyone.
I never had those.
I never had those. Tamagotchi. These things exploded. By the way,
I never had those. I don't know why.
I never even knew what it was till I came here.
7 generations of them. Like generation 1, like you could tell. Generation 3, they added Bluetooth. Generation like it started with round. Generation 1. I shit you not. Generation 7, it was this big with sticks coming out. Like each generation, they would add like Bluetooth compatibility. You have this like Wi-Fi thingy where you could send your guy to the other
generation. it's sentient.
And then it died off. And then what's it called? Last year during COVID, they tried to bring it back because everyone was at home.
Really?
So they were trying to like promote it, and
Yeah.
you saw like a lot of ads on like TikTok and like Reels and stuff
Bro,
like
I
that.
just imagine the ad. Know that you're stuck. Do you need something that's always attached to you that has separation
I
anxiety?
sucked. My thing always died.
Yeah.
When it turned into
I
a
couldn't take
teenager,
care of it.
I couldn't.
I was too busy playing Pokemon to take care of it.
Taking care of
Man,
that
I
you're
would look
freaking
over
electric
and
rat.
there was, I remember there's these girls in my class. I couldn't take care of one. She had four Tamagotchis.
Bro, imagine
they
how
had
much
kids.
effort.
Wifey material.
So much effort, bro.
So
this
much
girl's like
effort.
grade 4 taking care of 4 kids.
Like literally, and I was just looking at that. I'm just like, how much effort goes into like this game that you have to like? Because I'm telling you, like,
Was
just
it actually
time consuming? I never
Yeah,
had
you had to
this.
feed
every day.
it.
You had to clean its poop. You had to make sure. I'm telling you in the
Bro,
game,
it
dude,
was like
you
little
had to
pets.
make sure that, like, because let's say if the poop was there for more than 3 hours,
Yeah, it would get
it
upset.
would get upset. If
Yeah.
it gets too upset, it dies.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It had like a stress level.
So dark.
Yeah.
If it
Oh
didn't
my
get enough
god.
sleep,
Yeah. I feel
it
like
would
I'm
die.
depressed and wake up like
Yeah,
3 hours.
Oh my god, it was horrendous.
It was just horrible.
Like, I don't know why
I'm
that was
telling you,
ever
this
a
girl
thing.
had 4. She had no sleep.
That's a lot. The closest thing I played to that is, you remember Nintendo Pets? Do you remember that
Oh,
game?
no,
You had like
pets.
pets. I don't know if cats, but I know you had dogs, and you had to like feed them, take them
Really?
on walks and stuff like
I
that.
only know about that game because in Smash Bros. There's an assist trophy. One of them, you know, the puppy that covers the screen when you're playing. That's from Nintendo
Oh.
Pets.
Do you remember Neopets?
I've heard of that.
No.
Never
Yeah,
played it.
Neopets are like webkins.
Oh, I know.
I've heard of
I know
webkins, but I never.
Yeah.
I've never played any of those.
I never played them, but I had friends that did.
Club Penguin.
Bro, stop.
Yeah.
Bro,
Get out of
don't
here.
Club
Even-
Penguin. You
I
know,
know.
I used to have like
RuneScape
all
was
those
better.
RuneScape
Okay,
and
okay.
RuneScape and Compass got
RuneScape-
both
RuneScape-
RuneScape.
that's
introduced
a whole
me to
different-
PC gaming.
We don't
RuneScape
have
is a whole
to
different
compare them.
thing.
Yeah, they're beautiful in their own way.
Club Penguin.
I don't know, man.
I used to have those. You remember the pets, like the puffles? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
I had like 3 run away from me because I just wouldn't take care of them. So I guess if I had Tamagotchi, they'd all be dead.
Dude, the dance floor.
The dance floor was the best
I
thing.
just like spin
Was the
around and
best.
do all these like things. Man, Club
Oh,
Penguin
yeah.
taught me how to speak to girls. I would just go to like a pizza, throw a snowball at her, and walk
Bro,
around.
throwing
You want to go on
snowballs
dates? And
was
you just sit at the, you like put that like, emoticon like sitting down at the table, and then a random penguin. What can I get? Order, and he just like sends a picture of a pizza that's like yum, and he sends it to her, and it's like I think she likes me, Ramsey. George, it's like I think back.
How
literally-
old were you already?
I don't know. I was a kid, but man, I was a spy. I had so much. I had all these sick outfits where I
Oh man.
I felt like a friggin' boss in that game. I swear to God, man.
Oh my god.
It was and
I only played to troll
I-
people. That's
Huh?
all I did was play to troll people.
Oh, were you one of
Man,
those
were you-
people that
oh.
like you made friends with them, then you took their account, took everything?
Okay, no. I didn't take people's
Like
account. I
RuneScape,
just like
I'll
throwing
play your- I'll
snowballs
go
at
claim your
people
armor.
and then like
Oh
trying
my
to
God.
run and hide.
Man, that happened to me so much in RuneScape at the early days. Some guys like, please give me 10,000, please, I beg. And then I'm just like,
Bro,
here,
RuneScape
take
was
some
a
money.
whole
He's like,
phase.
we'll trade. Like, he would say, we'll trade. Like, I'll give you this for this. Then it's like, but first you need to give this to me. Like, I fell for this a few times. And I was
Yeah.
just like,
Oh, man, I remember
I'm
one
like, it's like,
time.
I'll trim your rune plate armor. It's like all right, and then it's
It's
like,
like,
it just disappears, and it's like wait a second.
No,
I think I just got scammed. You son of a bitch.
No, one time a guy convinced me that I can upgrade my shield, but
Yeah.
only in the PvP area, or like, you know how you could go into like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh really? He's like, yeah, you have
Come
to go
with
into,
me, man.
and like he just slaughtered me. I'm like,
The wilderness.
and he didn't even
The
need,
wildy-
he didn't
yeah.
even need any of my stuff. He just did it, took everything, and he was way higher level everything. And the joke is, it wasn't even my account because when we like me and Ahmed and Anas when we were little, Anas like my oldest brother, he wouldn't let us have our own accounts. He'd give us his accounts, like his
to
account,
level it all up
level
for
it
him.
up, and we were just weren't
Well,
allowed to have
You
our own
had to
account.
spend hours on that game to get it.
I know,
Like,
it's
I
so much
know
time. but
so
at
much.
least you
in
could
that
have done
issue.
something, even if you were in a gold membership. What's
Yeah.
it called? Gold?
Yeah, just
Nah,
The membership.
members.
The
I think it
membership.
was
Like, you
member
had to
members.
pay. Because if you were playing
Yeah.
free, you just have to commit way more time,
Yeah.
but you could still
Yeah.
get.
You can
So
still
that's
do
the
a
thing.
bunch of things.
Now
Yeah.
it's like you can't.
Well,
Yeah.
You
well,
literally
you
can't.
still can. Like
Yeah, you
I
still
went on there a
can.
little bit, but it's just you can do so much
You-
more.
you
as a
can-
member,
yeah,
but
it's so much
I believe you can still
faster,
do the
so
main.
much-
Like I literally went on RuneScape, old school
Yeah.
RuneScape now because I don't
Yeah.
play the new one. I don't know if
The new
anyone
one's
does.
too complicated.
Yeah.
Ones that,
I went on the
like,
old
a
school,
battle
and it's like
system and
I
everything.
went fishing and stuff. You can still do the same things,
Yeah.
but you know,
It's not as interesting.
Yeah, it's 'cause right
it's-
now I'm
the
older.
style of game is not.
it's like the
what's,
grind is too
popular
much.
anymore.
Yeah,
With that
to
one?
me, it's like the grind
Yeah,
is too much.
It's
Man,
like so
I
time
think
consuming.
I can only kill a certain number of giant frogs, before I just.
I low
Yeah, but
key
when
love
it's-
it though.
It's not
You
like
put
it's
it
not
on the
exciting,
side,
you know.
Put
Like,
it on the side.
Yeah,
like,
Like,
that's
when
what I do.
I started playing it again when COVID started, and
Yeah,
I was just,
I-
I literally
I
had
went
it,
on
like,
the
in a
other day.
corner as I was doing like
You should
personal
play
training and
Melver,
stuff like that.
Melver Idol. Is that the game?
Yeah, that's
Melver
my friends
Idol,
play
the new
that.
game.
Yeah.
I was telling you this to you. It's
Yeah.
basically RuneScape, but it's an idle game. Okay, it sounds kind of
Oh,
weird, but it's like
yeah.
a web page. You just
You just
tell
click.
it to do something, and then after 40 seconds, it doesn't. It's like, oh, this task has been completed.
So boring.
I feel like that's
literally
worse
a
than
waste of
RuneScape.
life.
But RuneScape
So many
has
play it.
nostalgia, man. RuneScape, like Club Penguin, I would say that's the first major game in my life. You know, taught me about talking to people and stuff. But I know with RuneScape, when I first moved to the UAE, I remember like I went to this beach club and I met this guy who happened to be in my school, and for some reason he's like, do you play RuneScape? And I said, like, yeah, I just started playing. He's like, I'll give you my account level 79 member. We can. Yeah, I was like, yeah, sure, man.
Must be nice.
And so
Did
I
you
remember
actually give it?
huh?
Did you give it?
Yeah, and he literally had like a dragon longsword and dragon helmet and stuff. And I didn't really know anything about RuneScape, but I knew this was some cool stuff. And so I remember when I sat in my class, you know, I'm in UK, I don't know anything. Everyone around me is talking about RuneScape.
Like,
I don't know anything about RuneScape, but they're all talking. I'm literally sitting there talking to myself. I'm just like, I can't go home to play RuneScape. And one guy's like, oh, you play RuneScape? I'm like, yeah, I'm just a level 79 member, man. It's like no big deal.
No.
And then he's just like, what? Yo, guys, this guy's a level 79 member.
79 used to be insane.
Yeah. And everyone's like, cool. And the thing is, I did not know anything about this game. And there was one guy, his name was Andre. This guy smelled my bullshit from a mile away. He's like, because he was like he was like level 68, and he's like, yeah, I heard you're the level 79 RuneScape. I'm like, yeah. Where'd you get your dragon armor for Haunted? It cost. I'm like, oh, it costs a lot. You don't know exactly. You don't know exactly. Really? You want to have a deal one day? Come on. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm but I did not know that. So in RuneScape, you know, if you have like the plate armor, magic is good against that. If you have the chain armor, you know, I did not know that. I was like, dragon armor, I'm gonna kill this guy. He has no chance. This guy put on like his wizard outfit. I'm like, I'm gonna kill this guy in one hit. By the time I ran at him, fireball. I hit him like 30, and I'm dead in 2 seconds. He's like, you suck. I'm like, please don't tell anyone. And I remember I told that first guy who talked to me, he was like, you're level 7. I remember his name was Jason, the nicest guy. I remember when I told him, like, Jason, can I be honest with you, man? I told him after like a year or 2 years or something like that, I'm like, that's not my account. A guy gave it to me. This guy was heartbroken. I feel like I just broke up with a girlfriend. How can you do this to me, man? I trusted you. I'm like, man, I'm so sorry. I need friends. Like, I thought you were elite, but you're only regular. I knew nothing about this game. He's like, hey, did you complete this quest? I like go down. I'm like,
yes.
Maybe. Yeah, I did. He's like, how did I do this? And I'm like, I was so long ago, man, and
it's like it's so beyond me.
I think it was Prince Ali Rescue, and even now I think back, I'm like, this might have been complex
like the hardest quest
you had to give the guard beer to get him drunk, and I was like, how do you think about that? Like I was like,
their
12 when I was
quests
playing.
are so intricate. Like, they don't get enough credit, I don't think, for like what their quests, because some of their quests, especially now, take like 5 hours to complete.
Yeah, man, I know. Yeah, they should make like VR version of RuneScape.
Imagine.
I would spend days. I wouldn't come out, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You have to like fight the same way.
Yeah, it would be insane.
Like, a little bit better.
This is so exciting.
Like a little bit more like not as repetitive, where you like your guy can 100%. Do the same task. Like, you can be chopping wood, leave the game, and then come back.
Yeah,
man. I remember when they first updated the fighting visuals, like not the mechanics, but it was just the animation.
Yeah,
you know how first it was just like, but then it became where if you had a two-handed sword, it was like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everyone was I was like, oh my god, it's so smooth. It's like, how is he swinging that? I'm just like, man, it was the biggest technological marvel when I was like, I remember when it was me and my brother Ahmed, we always used to go, when we first moved here to Canada, we didn't have our own PC, so we'd go to the public library in downtown and we made a gang there. So there was this kid called Morgan, and there was another like a kid called Richard, and then there was this Algerian kid that just no one liked really good. He was throwing. So my account was Dr. Solve. It wasn't my account. It was my oldest brother's second account that he just gave me so I can level for him and play, and in case he wants to play again.
Yeah.
And then this Algerian kid made an account called Dr. Solves with an S at the end. I remember I was so mad, and I was like trying to like. I told him, and then the next day we took him to the other end of the library. We started beating him. I was like, delete that account. He's like, no. Like, it was literally a mafia for RuneScape. And then the next day he brought his dad.
Oh my god!
And his dad was looking. I was like, where are they? In the public library. I love it. And me and Ahmed are hiding in the video section where they used to have Mario Kart. We were hiding behind the TV thing. We're just like, is he gone? Is he gone? And then we have Morgan like keeping watch for us.
That was so insane. Elementary school, we used to run to the public library at Mville to play RuneScape there.
Oh yeah.
It was a race because there was only like 4 computers.
Yeah,
and whoever got there first got to play for the like
2 hours. Because it gives you 2 hours, then you have to rescan or like re-log in.
Yeah.
But we figured out a way to hack it. So if you there's a pop-up window where you keep logging in, you can keep opening it. If you open like more than 10 of them and it stacks, it lags. Yeah. And then you log in once and you can stay there forever.
No way.
Yeah, it was insane.
I remember there was this fob kid that came up to me and I went and we were playing for like 6 hours straight because like our parents like they were so busy trying to find a house and that like nobody cared where we were, right? We'd stay there from the moment it opens till like 8 p.m. Nobody cared where we were, like as long as we like found food somehow.
Yep.
And this kid like sneaks up, he's like, "Excuse me, you've been there for more than 2 hours." You know, we're like, what? Who is this kid? Like, we were regulars there, like, so we had our crew, like the usual kids, and then this kid was like, you know, the new kid that no one knew. I'm like, who are you? Like, just leave. And then he went on and told on us.
No way.
Now the library lady used to come and check.
Just make sure you know you guys are not staying there for too long.
Yeah, so we just switched between like Mario Kart and then Runescape.
Do you guys remember in video game stores they used to have like the consoles on display and they would have the controllers sticking out?
You get to play.
Walmart.
Yeah, they used to go.
Walmart
My brother and I would always like. My parents would go to them all, do whatever.
I got
my brother and I would
lost in
literally
the
go
mall
there
so many times because of this, because they just recording.
We just play. I remember like times we used to. Can you put Gears of War in there? The guy's like, just what are you doing?
Like, who are you?
Yeah, like I'm just trying to do my job, man. Like, it's gonna have Gears of War. I'm a kid like this. I used to. There was one time. I don't know what happened. We were playing Gears of War. I don't know which one. And I don't know. I swear I've meant to play this game. I was clapping every single guy who was there. My brother, literally was like a line of people just trying to kill me. I was beating the shit out of everyone. Eventually, one guy's like, "Okay, people are staying on here for too long." I'm like, "Well, they gotta get good, man. It's not my fault.
Not my fault.
It's not.
If you want me to leave, make me leave.
Yeah, come play.
Yeah,
But
beat me.
they don't have that anymore,
Trash.
man. It's so sad. I remember this. It's actually even recently too. It was 20. Like I'm telling you, 14. Probably 15 that they took it off because like I remember when I came, you could still see that like it's still there, like the where the console was and everything like that. Like just Toys R Us and Walmart, they always used to have
Walmart
it.
Used to have
it was the best
Toys
thing.
R Us.
It's literally the only reason I went with my parents.
I know, me too.
The only reason I went with my parents, I'm like, you guys can go. Just let me. I'll literally be right there. Oh, such good times.
Yeah, back when we didn't have all these things.
Did any of you get Wii?
Yeah.
Wii.
Yeah,
Like
I only really bought a Wii like when I like after high school. We bought a Wii Mini, but like I played it at Cameron's house.
I never had a Wii, but
elite when it came out.
I think that changed. That was
That
a
changed.
huge moment in gaming.
Yeah, it was
think about
insane.
it. Gaming, it's viewed as this lazy thing. That was the first game I think that brought in like
It was the
actual
first
physical
family
activity.
console. It
Yeah.
was the
Family
first
gun.
family, like
Wii Sports is one of the
Sports.
highest selling games of all time.
Oh,
So
yeah,
because
like
it
Wii
came with
Sports
the
Resort.
I remember the Wii Sports. My
So
dad
much fun.
always said it like he's always like, yo, gaming is a waste of time. You're not even exercising. And then I remember we went over to a friend's house and he had a Wii. I was like, can you come play this boxing thing? My dad was sweating, dude.
Yeah,
he got and like he's competitive, so he was just playing for like 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, I was trying to like, yo, can you let me play?
Your dad
Like,
smacks you, like, gives you a-
hold on.
a
He's like,
right hook.
wait. I'm telling you, for an hour and a half, me and this kid watching my dad. Like, we were just looking at him like, are you serious right now?
Those games though.
It was so much fun.
Some people figured out that you didn't actually have to punch. All you had to do was like shake the remote a little bit.
Bro,
so you'd have me like going boom, 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 and then the person on the side going.
I hate people who do that. So the boxing was my favorite thing.
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
realistically, it's probably what got me into like martial arts.
So nice.
The boxing in Wii Sports. This is what we would do. Cameron would just whip, but there is a way to counter that. You just have to be like, you're always
You whip other way.
weaving. No.
behind the back.
He's whipping my right hand.
Man, just a bunch of people like
Switch it to the left. He's like, you can't do
so
this.
strange.
No, you fucking put the wrist thing around your wrist and just like spin it.
I did that with tennis. Like I stand in front of the net and just like shake my like thing.
Yeah.
And the thing
And
just,
your
it
racket
like
would just
the ball
go
would like
insane.
bounce like between both sides. Like man, that was so much fun. But yeah, I think for some reason I always wanted to play boxing, but no one wanted to play with me. I don't know, and I hated it because it was so much fun. But everyone's like, let's play tennis or bowling.
Boxing
No,
was the best one.
Yeah,
I know
boxing
bowling.
was
I
so
would do
fun.
this, and the ball would fly this way, and it's like that's not what I'm doing. Or I think the frisbee one as well. I think I'll do it, and then the frisbee would fly that way,
After the
and
side.
I would just hate it. And I just, oh my god, I want to play
Bowling was
boxing.
the most overrated one. Everyone like when you think.
I hated
Sorry,
it.
when you think Wii Sports, you always think bowling, but it's the most boring one.
I really would say tennis and boxing. Those are the iconic ones for
Boxing
me.
and baseball were my favorite.
Baseball was fun.
Baseball so underrated.
Yeah, that
so
was underrated.
so much technique went into the baseball. It's so underrated. It's the best one in terms of like thinking. boxing is just the best one overall.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I love how you still get those memes where it's like, top 10 fighters. You used to get that wee guy with the boxing glove.
I hate that guy.
You can never meet him, man.
It's because when he knocks you out, it's impossible to bring yourself back up. But when you knock him out, 2 seconds and he's back. I had to knock him out 4 times.
No matter what type of shaking you're doing.
This guy's ready.
Was it Jeff?
I don't know, but it was some friggin' guy. Oh, man, it was so annoying. You could
Jeff? I think they said Jeff. I see it in the memes. I think the name, they said Jeff.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that was so successful. But then, you guys remember the Microsoft Kinect? You remember what that was?
Trash.
And that was a huge flop.
And then PlayStation came out with their own version, didn't they?
I had that. There was a sword fighting one that was a lot of fun, but also was a flop because I don't know, the Wii is just a better version.
Yeah.
Kinect is actually very, I think as a concept, it's super interesting.
Yeah.
But like it just did not work out. Because think about it, especially right now where haptics are, especially if you look at technology, haptics are growing. But with Kinect, you just move your body and it just sort of tracks the movement. I think that's so cool, but I never had a Kinect.
It was too early. I feel
the technology was not ready to do what they wanted.
Yeah, and the games. Just think of it. Majority of these things, it's so important.
Yeah.
No games were Kinect. Kinect probably had 3 or 4. Like I remember, the most problem was because there wasn't enough developers.
They used it in the most boring ways ever. You know how they used it? One of their most popular games, Dance Dance, and Fruit Ninja, and it was like this raft game where you just move side to side.
Didn't they have a fitness one with it too?
I think so.
Because we had Wii Fit. That was the first game I had on
and the
Wii.
freaking Wii Pad.
Yeah, you got like the little board
Wii Pad where you balance on it.
Yeah,
bro.
Trying to do yoga on it, dude.
I played a Legend of Zelda game on the Wii Pad.
How?
You can. It's considered a controller.
So what do you do?
How do
you
move?
Because it's just steps.
No. I'm not talking about the 2 steps. There's an actual mat.
Oh, so something. I'm like, how did you play on the step?
Because the Wii Fit thing was just like a little thing that you just.
I'm mixing it up. It was an Xbox thing I played, and it wasn't Zelda. It was a Fable game. Fable's like.
I've heard a lot about that game. I never played
Fable's
such a good game.
It's one of the most OG. It came out with the original Xbox, but there's an Xbox. It's not a controller. It's meant for dance games, and you can. It's all the buttons on the controller, but on a mouse.
Oh, I know. Yeah. For like Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh, Dance Dance Revolution. Yeah.
Arrow this way, arrow this way, arrow this way.
All right. Yeah. Guitar Hero and Rock Band. Those games were so much fun.
They're also very iconic.
Remember how we got 100% on that one System of a Down song, Spiders?
Yes.
I love that song.
We got 100% on it.
I was the reading for the guitar band.
It was
I think
it was good enough. I could only do like one flick. I could not do anything.
And we did the duet for singing too. So we were all like,
those games were so much fun. Rock Band and Guitar Hero.
Because you know how you bought the thing on the side, the whole gear for it?
Yeah.
I think it did out of all, like some gears, like for instance, the driving ones, Forza, you need to buy the thing. Out of all games, the Rock Band did the best in terms of gear.
Rock Band and Guitar Hero,
spend money on it.
We had one. Yeah, we had one of those. I remember back when I was in
guitars you can get.
Yeah. They had like the buttons and you could like flick the
thingy.
I still have my whole set. Well, it was Cameron's that he gave it to me. We should
totally play that, man. This is like a nice throwback. Send me back, man.
I remember watching like YouTube videos of people doing like, I don't know, the highest level setting, and you just see them with the car, and they're just like,
and all the buttons are just like, I'm like, how do you even
move that fast? I don't get it.
All the comments are like, this guy's girl must be very pleased, and it's like, I understand.
What game do you think it was for you guys that made you guys really competitive in a sense of
Modern Warfare 2
was a league for you?
Modern Warfare 2. That game turned me. That's where boys turn into men. That game, you had to have like a thick skin. You go into those lobbies, your whole family's insulted within the first 2 seconds. Like no question about
you didn't have a mic. It was rough. You just got destroyed, and you couldn't say anything back, and you just felt sad.
That's the thing. You just join literally. Join to cheek, pussy, you're a sorry, you're gonna have to beep all this out. Your mom's like, oh, you're but boop, and I'm just like, oh my god, why are you?
And it wasn't kids at that point saying that. It was like 22-year-olds, like people our age, just being like, just ripping on kids.
Yeah. Like if records of the gaming lobbies went to court,
100%,
everyone would have like a triple life sentence.
Oh, easy. It was so toxic.
But I think kids nowadays way worse. That's a huge thing. Right now,
nowadays worse? I don't think so.
No. Kids are bad now. Kids are bad
because now it's brought to younger ages.
To be honest, the thing about kids though, they have the same energy of wanting to like insult you, but for some reason, kids are so accurate and hurtful with their insults.
I think
they have no general insults. Like you're that's it. Like you're a bitch. It's like, but no, kids will find out your IP address, find out where you are, insult you based on the region, find out your freaking postal code, send you something in the mail. Like they'll destroy you because you like couldn't snipe them in Fortnite.
I think it's worse because obviously these means kids nowadays would never survive Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. I think with kids, because you can't really say anything back. What are you gonna do? Like he's a 12-year-old. Like you can't insult him. But Modern Warfare 2, man.
No, Modern Warfare 2 is definitely.
I think that's when toxicity started.
Yeah, that literally was.
It curated that. Like
Warfare 2.
Yeah, and I think also that game's I would say in terms of shooters that was. I mean, you had like Modern Warfare 1 that was good, but Modern Warfare 2 just changed everything. That's I think so. Yeah. I would say that's the first multiplayer game I played super seriously. The first single player game was probably like Skyrim. You probably all played Skyrim.
Skyrim.
If I had a girlfriend at that time,
I played too much Skyrim.
I played Skyrim so many times. Oh my god!
I never finished the game.
I'm actually currently in another playthrough.
I got it again because I was like, I always had it on PlayStation, which is terrible. But now the mods,
PC,
are insane.
The mods are insane.
Like now it's
a different game.
Yeah, because now I don't like mods that change the look of the game too much. Like they're amazing, but I focus more on mods that add things to the game. There are so many items and quests that I have added.
People have made quests. People have made new maps. There's a now mod that I don't know how well it works, but you can play multiplayer in Skyrim.
It's not a mod. It's like an actual like thing.
Isn't the Elder Scrolls?
Elder Scrolls Online.
No.
That's a whole different game. That's a whole different game.
Part of Skyrim, it's a mod where you can. I mean, I never tried it out. I don't know, but like it's like you can do, and it's very smart on Bethesda.
Yeah.
This game has. This game was released in 2011. 2011.
It still has a huge fan base.
10 years I'm going to be playing Skyrim on my smart fridge.
That's why they haven't come out with another one because it's still done so well.
Yeah. It's insane.
Have you guys ever played Half-Life?
I played Half-Life 2. That game.
I played.
It's one of the most iconic.
Bro, Half-Life was so ahead of its time.
Yeah, it was.
When it came out, the first one I think it was like 1999. Yeah, I think it was 1999 or even older. It was so sick. Like compared to like me. Like my first person shooter, like main when I was a kid was Halo. I was a Halo kid. Everyone else was playing COD. I was Halo, but Half-Life was just that one game that was just like I could play it over and over and over again. Like Halo, Half-Life 1, I've memorized all the puzzles because it's not only a shooter. Like it's very puzzly. Like Half-Life 2, they kind of took that out. There were puzzles, but not that. Oh,
you're talking about the first Half-Life?
Yeah, Half-Life 1. Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2.5, and then
there's no 3. Valve can't count to 3.
Yeah, that whole meme is dead, man. I remember when that was the whole.
It's still true. There's still 3 yet.
Man, I've fallen for so many like Rick Roll videos or Rick Roll because I thought I was like, like Half-Life 3 teaser. I'm like, like those. You see TikToks now. It's like me at 12 looking at Super Saiyan 7. For me, it was like me at 12 looking at like Half-Life 3 teasers. I'm like, let's go. And like all my brothers were fans of Half-Life. Like I grew up on it because like Ahmed and Anas knew Half-Life and they played it. Mostly Ahmed, I think. I don't even remember. Man.
Half-Life 2, like if you look it up, it's generally considered to be one of the best games of all time.
It's amazing.
It was so ahead of its time.
Amazing. It's amazing.
And they released the remastered version of it too.
They released the new Half-Life Alyx on VR. Apparently, it's insane. And if you look at that and you look at now where VR is going, it's insane because with part of my work, I was doing a lot of studies on VR headsets and stuff.
That's so cool.
Nowadays, some of the new VR headsets, like there's a few issues with VR headsets. One of the big issues is the resolution is not as good. Things are just way blurry. Right now, they have headsets that replicate the visual acuity of the human eye. So what you see is almost exactly what it's going to be like to see in real life.
That's insane.
The thing is, like, there's still limitations. So, for example, the field of view, like human field of view, is like I don't know, it's
whatever it is, like 178 degrees. I think so.
Like, this one will be like 120, so it's still not there. But it's
a few
years. When I started my study, it was up to like 80 degrees. Then when I a few months after, it was the next generation was like 120. That's the thing. This stuff is growing
so fast. That's what I was saying. And right now there is this just with the VR. I don't know if you guys saw. They have it in LA where you put the VRs on and it's in the amusement parks and they attach it to you. It's like an exoskeleton type of thing where you run. So you do things, but you don't trip. I saw that. I read about this. So you have it's around a radius of like a meter and a half. So you guys have full reading about this. You can run it. You can do whatever. You can literally jump and you won't fall because the thing attaches to you. And think of it with a VR. So that's what got me thinking. I'm like, dude, give this 10 years.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
You're literally gonna play like GTA that looks like the real world, and you're in there
like,
running.
Almost dangerous.
It reminds me of that one
movie. Have you guys seen that movie, Ready Player One?
I've heard it.
It's exactly Ready Player. Like literally Ready Player. What we are. It was like 85%, 90% there to Ready Player One.
I mean, less BS, but like
Well, not BS, but I'm saying it's very close though, because that whole thing, like with what George is saying with the 120 view. you need what? Another like 60 degrees on each side, and we're practically with what we can see. And on top of that, you have the machines.
Man, it reminded me of that one Rick and Morty episode where they go to this like alien arcade, and one of the games is you get to like, you know, sit in a chair and play a whole life in a game. But the thing is, it feels the same length as a normal game. So like when Morty goes in, he's playing, he like, you know, he's born in that. He has a whole life as this guy that working in like a carpet shop. And he like gets cancer, survives, and then dies about what, like from falling off a ladder. And then he wakes up, he's like, what happened? Rick is like, oh damn, you didn't even get past the carpet shop. Damn, you suck. And he thought he had a whole life. He's like, where are my kids? Where are my kids?
Man, that's actually kind of crazy. I feel like some games focus so much on realism. Some people like that sort of stuff. Like there's some games where you actually have to eat and stuff. You have to do all these different things. It's kind of crazy. So I could see stuff like that in the future. And one of the other issues with VR is people get sick. That's probably this biggest issue.
Motion sickness, you mean?
It's so basically like there were two things. One thing is that basically when you have the VR headset, you know, you're in these worlds and you're moving and whatnot, but in reality you're not moving. You're stationary and you're looking at something that's right in front of your eye, but in the VR headset you're looking at something that's really far. So that's basically what happens. It's basically there's the
fluid in your ear.
Yeah, and it's like what you're seeing is not matching with what you're seeing. You're moving all these things, but in reality you're standing still. So that mismatch is what causes you to feel sick.
If you have it on these things, is it not going to fix that? Like one of these machines?
That's what I'm saying. Like this actually might be something very interesting, because that actually you might change the fact that, you know, if you're actually moving, that might get rid of some of the sickness. I know there's a bunch of studies right now that, you know, of things that could at least mitigate some of these issues, but I think those are the two biggest issues with VR in terms of replicating the visual acuity and then getting rid of the sickness. If you fix those, and then of course, you know, you need proper tech, because like running VR games is like you need insane PCs. But in the future, you know, that we know that's. I mean,
not even that. Cameron the other day he came. It was the Oculus, the new generation. You don't even need to attach it to a PC.
100%.
So literally just.
But I feel like if you want to play those games that have like the proper, you know, that like resolution,
100%.
You can need some insane
a very good rendering.
But it's like this stuff is actually. It's changing so very quick,
dude. Yeah,
and it's literally going to change. Imagine that. And right now, there's in VR. It's sort of under the umbrella of what's called XR. So there's VR, there's AR, which is augmented reality. So augmented reality,
it's like Snapchat.
It basically you have the real world, and it posts like in images in front of your screen.
They had that
Pokemon Go
a long time ago.
Pokemon Go
phone games even you could do.
Yeah. So but like what there's the new one, not really new.
Pokemon Go was literally AR.
Pokemon Go, and that game also changed, bro. That game. We'll touch on that later. But so they have MR, which is mixed reality, which basically tries to combine both things. So VR puts you in like a completely virtual world. AR puts virtual objects in your real thing, but you can't interact with them. Like if you're playing a shooting game, you shoot a guy, he's dead, but you can't interact with him. But what MR does is that, let's say you're in your real world, there's a virtual object. Let's say you drop it, it'll bounce on this real life table, or you throw it, it'll bounce on the wall. Think of it. You can't do that in VR. In AR, you can't do that because it doesn't interact with the environment. But that's what MR does. With all the new technologies. Think of it.
Crazy.
Which is kind of insane. If you have a virtual ball, you can throw it, it'll bounce here. Imagine like if it's
like a hologram type of thing.
We can play like real, if we don't have I don't know, we could play soccer just in a real
place, or tennis or anything like that.
There's so much you can do with that.
Just see like a ball.
That technology is off, but
game of beer pong.
But that would be thing.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because my client, him and his brother over COVID both bought like a VR headset, and they they go to like a virtual bar together. Because they can't see each other in
VR
person.
Chat.
No way. The rooms, and the lobbies are in. I didn't even think. I really did not think it's
thought of it like that, but it's huge. He's like, you go to like these virtual bars, and he's like, there's literally like hundreds of people in these bars, and he's like, you can just talk to a bunch of random people.
It's like, think literally those Runescape huge lobbies. It's just you're in a VR room with.
Can you like walk around?
And you can choose like your own like player.
And there's like different shops you can go into.
That's kind of insane.
It's insane.
There's you showed this to me on YouTube. It's this channel where his whole content is about him walking up to random people as this like little penguin.
No.
Was it penguin?
So his avatar. So you can make anything. He picked like this demented, fat-looking Mickey Mouse, and all he does is he goes like girl players with like avatars that look hot and that, and he like tries to hit on them. He's like, "Can I hit the Doonies or something?" So he's doing, and then like his whole game was like this weird laugh. But yeah, the point is, you can go in like many different rooms where people are there in real time.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It's VR chat, you said?
Yeah, and it's international. So my friend Cameron, or our friend Cameron, he like just the other day he stayed up till 6 a.m. He was just like with some people from all around the world just talking.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and you can make like actual like real friends because it's like it's not like a game where there's an objective. The only objective is to talk to people. So
it's like a lounge. It's literally like a bar. You just walk in.
Literally, that's so cool.
It is.
I know. I'm surprised that I never
because
heard
we don't
about
even
that.
use that much because like majority of the games that I was looking, I'm like it's still. But these people who are in the whole VR and stuff like that, when you actually enter the whole VR community, you realize how huge it is right now, and how much development is right now being made in the whole VR industry. So I'm telling you, 10 years.
It's kind of funny. We went full circle to Club Penguin with VR chat.
Yeah, I know.
Because like Club Penguin, that's all you do. You just kind of like played mini games.
That's
you
so
chilled.
true.
You hit on girls. You went full circle, but it's in VR now.
Yeah, that's kind of insane, but it's like it's nice and especially now with COVID and stuff. That's
it was a whole dynamic I never even thought of
VR.
Yeah,
I mean, like I guess you can always just talk in Discord and stuff, but it's not the same. That's actually such
so
a cool
much
thing.
more right now.
And imagine like like you're saying in a few years, what. Like the potential, like I know, for example, there's things right now with haptics. You put on these gloves and stuff, and sort of like in a connect.
You can feel things.
Yeah, like like basically it applies pressure on your fingers. So let's say if you touch this virtual object, it'll feel like you're.
That's so sick.
It's not like a really big thing. I believe surgeons do that when they do a lot of training. They actually like
VR right now is huge right now in the medical industry too.
It is
because before they want to train them anything from even in flight simulators.
Flight simulators.
Oh yeah,
VR. That's like one part of my work. Like I was looking at the aspects and stuff. There's Boeing. There's Starliner, I believe. So there's real life training, but then they're also part of it is virtual training. They're gonna put the astronauts. The VR headsets and with the headsets that the ones that have like the replicate the human eye acuity, and it's basically it'll be like a full replica of the actual spacecraft. So when you're sitting there, you'll know exactly almost where the buttons are, so you can in a way train your muscle memory and stuff like that. So when you sit in the real thing, you'll know where everything is.
And you can even imagine these are hugely funded ones. So they're going to be using the highest ends. It's going to be very good.
Something we can never get our hands on.
Exactly. Because these ones are all R&D, I find. And right now,
the headset they're using, you can literally buy it right now.
Which one is it? Do you know what they're using?
Varjo VR2.
How much is that roughly?
Never heard of this.
2,000. I didn't hear about it. It's not a gaming one, but in the future, I would assume it's gonna make its way into a game.
But like anything else, like PC parts, it's not meant for years, and it'll be way more accepted everywhere.
Yeah, it's cool because like this stuff. What started off as gaming, it's moving its way into so many other fields because it's just so cool.
Because I realized you could use this potential to everything else.
Remember the HoloLens, the Microsoft HoloLens.
Was that the glasses thing?
Yeah,
no, that's Google Glass.
Google made one.
There's also the HoloLens as well. Remember, I was seeing this thing where I believe, unless I'm mixing it up, but you put on these glasses and you just see like this huge virtual thing in front of you. That's kind of
like a Tony Stark type of thing.
That's absolutely insane in front of you. That's stuff out of the future, man. And you see that in movies, and it's like
it's gonna make things way more productive, I find, and it's
way more fun too. When you can visualize something in front of you.
Yeah. But this just shows, I feel like this industry is so huge, so growing, and with the amount of money in it now from before to the amount of money that's going to come, it's so much more.
This is like people are now. I feel like they're unlocking the potential. Like a lot of these streamers and stuff, they're getting signed. For example, a lot of FIFA players, they're getting signed by actual sports teams.
Yeah,
because to represent them, because they're saying right now, think of it. Okay, a lot of these sports teams, they have all their sports fans, but there's a huge market of just gamers who maybe don't follow sports and stuff or follow. Let's say virtual sports, like let's say play virtual games and stuff. It's just like an untouched market. Why don't they move and capture all these people and get all these extra followers? For example, PSG, they're a soccer team. Right now they bought the PSG
LSD is a team.
All these soccer teams like Ajax, they're a Dutch team.
They're buying all these teams,
and players and stuff. It's just because now I feel like companies are realizing just how big this market is and. It's the thing, like I was saying, billions of dollars. So it's just such a big thing and
profit for them to make.
Yeah, that's exactly what they don't care about. So they care about the money. But
it just aligns for them now that it benefits gamers. So it's like
the Olympics is making this much money. Watch last week's episode.
We're talking
but this is kind of touches into that too of how much more money they can
even
exactly
now,
make.
some colleges, I was reading in the States, about 200 colleges are now offering esports scholarships.
Yep.
Like if you're like they're looking for esports players because I was reading the viewership for esports is
how much
big.
It's insane.
I didn't realize until I thought
just grab League of Legends and look at how much they just
like a tournament.
So 2016, I think it was, or 2017, they had more views for the like championship in League of Legends than they did for the Super Bowl.
That's the thing.
It's insane.
That's the thing.
And that's like
So
5
much.
years ago.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Man, the prize pools. Have you seen their prize pools?
Millions.
Like, right now, the highest prize pools for Dota out of all the sports. This year's
40
one,
million.
40 million.
It's insane.
$40 million for the highest team. When you just take a second to grasp
That's without
that,
all the sponsorships and that for the winning teams.
This is just from winning first place for the TI.
Yeah.
You get 40 million.
Well, I don't think it's first place. I think it's
Ridiculous.
split over the season, but it's like the winning team makes so much money.
That is true. I think it's like, because it's like
split
half
between, like,
the
the
first
top
team
three.
makes it, and then the other half is divided between like the top one. But still, man,
it's so much
even
money.
if it's 20 million,
Ridiculous.
Also,
you're looking at it, this is disgusting amount.
also like the fact that it has more viewership than the Super Bowl. So like a lot of people watch Super Bowl not for the Super Bowl, but
It's
for
for
the
the ads.
commercials.
Yeah.
So if you have more
so
viewership for the esports, now you have a whole different,
Much more viewership,
a whole different
sponsorships.
market, a whole different like open space now to put your ads in. I mean, the ads won't be the same. Like you won't find
Different
like
things.
ads for like, I don't know, like some.
You
like
probably
a
will
very-
though find it the kind of the
here's the
same.
No, because now companies that usually wouldn't get as many like as much back from putting an ad in the Super Bowl would put it probably for cheaper because it's a newer market.
That's true.
Like say for like Gamer G Fuel, they weren't gonna put it as Super Bowl. They could have, and they
But
could have
they-
gone a lot more like purchases from the Super Bowl. But if they put it in a tournament like this, they're gonna get way more back and probably
Well,
for
I'm thinking
cheaper.
like Honda, for instance, they just go and do the same
yeah,
thing.
for
And,
sure.
and both, like they'll still make their money. But exactly, I agree with you.
And imagine
It's
like
such
now they
it's
can
untouched.
Yeah, now they can hire like almost like virtual like halftime shows. I mean, that's not even like a thing that they have yet, but they could have it.
Well, but for two things. First of all, some companies are actually putting real life advertisements in their video games. I believe EA did that with one of the NBA games, 2K, whatever. They put actual ads and they got so much backlash.
FIFA as well.
Like, I think you're just trying to play a game and you pay. Well, now games are like $80 a game,
And they
80
have
Canadian,
ads in your
and there's
game.
an actual like I would be beyond pissed. And not only that, because you're probably gonna when you play games like FIFA
But
and
this
stuff.
just shows you so much. Like that's what I was saying. It's like if a real life version of a GTA, if you're always spending your time, imagine you're walking through a virtual Times Square.
Oh yeah,
and then you're walking and you just see the ads. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
100%. That's what it's gonna be like.
You just reminded me of something right because we're getting close to the end, but I just want to mention one thing that I find really funny about GTA 5.
Yeah.
Did you know that there's GTA 5 role playing? So whole modded servers where people go in. And by the way, you can't just go in. You have to write an application.
Yeah.
You have to apply, then you have to be accepted. There are people that make money off of writing applications for people because the applications don't all get accepted. So you have to have like, I don't know what you
what is
what
this? Like, how do we get in?
Basically role playing like
as a role. So like you're a cop. You're
so you go in,
you have a job that you have to specifically do.
A lot of streamers do that.
If you break the rules, you actually get arrested. Like I was just watching a TikTok today, and this guy was running a tow truck business.
How many thousands of people are in these?
There are so many. Like
That's insane.
But think about it. You turned a satire on real life into real life. So like my friend Ashkan was telling me this yesterday. He actually brought this up. So, like they went full circle. The game started out as you're tired of real life. You just want to go into this game. you do everything.
Go to work.
Like the story of GTA is always the satire on real life, and then the multiplayer
Now
basically
it's
you do whatever. They brought it back to just doing exactly like you get off of work and you go to work. And like,
I can't wait to play work.
Not all the jobs are like cop, tow truck driver, like fun drivers. No. Like Cameron's job is to refill vending machines. Yeah, he plays it. He plays it, and he had to write an application and everything. When he got accepted, he became the guy who fills up vending machines.
Is it like random of what they assign you to?
I have no clue.
Imagine there's like a mafia of the top 1% of the people who are so good at this. Like we control the elite people in this world.
Feel like there's stuff like that.
Yeah,
but also one last thing we can mention because I guess it's pretty big to talk about.
Yeah,
you look at how big video games are. Look at Travis Scott with Fortnite. His
Ariana Grande just did one with Fortnite.
Had one. Imagine like when you get eventually VR and you can play things like you literally virtual concerts and stuff like that. But it shows you Fortnite games like Fortnite were so big. He literally had a whole concert in there. That's kind of insane. I mean, it wasn't an actual concert.
But the moment that this is going to be very accepted is, like I said, the pinnacle point of hardware. Right now, I think software is there. Our hardware is kind of lacking. Yeah. The moment that the hardware kind of catches up, where it's everybody can get it. Like, let's say you pay $80, guys. Yeah. And you get a glasses that has VR in it. Yeah, exactly. It's there. I think that exactly what you're saying. Just, why would you go to concert? Yeah. You just stay on your couch.
And you're raving on your.
You just plug in and you won't get like crushed by people sweating and stuff like that. To be honest,
I would never do that. Like a virtual concert.
I feel like if someone like looks at you from the outside, just alone in a room and like,
you guys say this now till everybody starts doing it.
I feel like if you can't buy tickets to go there, you still want to be there.
And they're gonna start like selling cheaper tickets. But if it gets realistic enough, I'd probably go.
Well, that's the thing. I'm saying it's like our software, our hardware. The moment it gets to the point that it's accessible and it's very realistic,
you won't feel the bass like rumble through your body.
They can make you feel it.
You can't have a whole
that whole feeling of actually being there is going to be.
You'll never replicate.
You can't replicate.
You're never going to get that 100%. 30 years, maybe they could, but I'm saying at the time
like
being,
a whole bodysuit.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you get 60% of that feeling of being there, I feel like
you get the real experience.
To me, it doesn't feel. It will just feel like watching like a show or something. Like I won't really feel like I'm there
unless you take a lot of drugs, and then
you feel something. I'll feel the music like floating in the sky.
Imagine you can pay extra and they simulate what being on Molly is like. It's like, oh, you from the comfort of your own couch.
That might be the thing. Honestly, for people who are curious, I would not be surprised if that's the thing. It's like a virtual, because
it's a safe way of trying drugs.
Literally, because I mean, I think most people do it before, like out of curiosity. So I
think this topic could be a whole other episode.
100%, because this is such a huge industry and there's so many subparts with it. But we can leave that for another day.
Let's end it off with one question. Now that you guys have seen how big this industry is, and how much success you can get out of this. If let's say, I don't know if you all plan on having kids, but let's say you have a kid and your kid comes to you and says, Dad, I wanna be a streamer. I want to be a gamer. What would you say? Would you say no? You can't.
Depends you if and I talked about or not.
Yeah, you and I talked about it.
What's your KD?
But I think I don't even know if I'd care. Like for the streaming aspect, I would be like, okay, you have this amount of time to prove to me this is how many views you can get and popularity you can get. And if you're able to do that, then sure.
Yeah, because unlike our parents, I think we're much more aware.
You ask your parents, my parents would,
they wouldn't even know. They can't even relate.
Yeah,
but to me, we've
seen what. Like I have a friend of mine who. Well, not a friend, but I know of him. He was in my high school and stuff. He made his own Fortnite team, hundreds of thousands of followers. He moved to LA. He's sponsored by Champions, so it's doable. And so, like you said, we've seen what our parents don't understand. Even right now, they probably don't understand how big it actually is. But we've seen it. So, like you said, I'd probably be like, you have a year to do what you want. Because if it's here, let's say if I want him to, or if let's say for secondary education or whatever, if it's more than a year, it might be a bit hard to get back in, but a year, you can take a year off school or whatever, focus on this. If you're successful, then, sure. If you're ass or, if let's say, if I see he's like, point like 7 KD, I'll be like, no. It's like, just stick to put your school or something. You're focused somewhere else.
Yeah. If you're not like moving forward with it and you're not doing like anything with it, then
or who knows, like we said, now some colleges are giving scholarships for gaming, like maybe he can do both on the side, part-time gaming and then school, eventually he gets hired by like an actual team for gaming. You never know, but I would be more open to it. But I feel like my parents would be like, what are you doing?
What are you letting your child do?
You're wasting time.
I see, like, honestly, it's a skill.
I think it's
a huge skill.
Like so much reflexes and communication and stuff. It's so much.
Like I'm getting more of a real time. I mean, we'll go into this. I feel like you could say so many things about this. Like we need a whole other episode.
But in general, do you think you would be open? I would. Both of you. And I think all of us, just because
in a limit, I'd be like, how much can you do? And depending on how he performs, sure. If not, continue part-time. Like I played video games throughout my university. I mean, I suffered in university a little bit, but it's like you can, 100%. Don't give it away. Just don't dedicate your whole life.
Have your hobby as like not at the point where it's a hobby or where it's a profession where you're investing too much. You can keep it as a hobby, but
basically, more of the story is get good.
Get good. Don't
suck. If you're not, if you're trash, you're out of school.
Young George out of Walmart who wrecks everybody. And
I challenge my kid to like a 1v1 in Rust and see how he does.
Clap.
He beats me on Rust. 1v1 in Rust, man.
Clap. Do not be clapped.
All right. Well, till next week.
Next week.
Don't forget.
Thank you guys. guys. Subscribe, like, and comment.
Yes.
Appreciate it. And yeah,
We'll see you
guys next time.
See ya.
Peace.